Hi, my name is Dave of Paranormal Penny Pinchers. Tonight we're doing an experiment with the rest of the Paranormal Penny Pinchers team. As you can see on the table, there's a bag that contains a number of items. Each item may or may not have a story behind it. I know the details of each item that's in there. So tonight we're going to be testing psychometric ability of Sam, Stuart, Stacey and John. I'm even going to be testing my own ability as I've made a prediction. The results will be revealed at the end to see whether anyone got any relevant information and whether my own predictions were correct or not. So this is Stuart. This is experiment number 1, part of the team. I'll now ask Stuart to place the blindfold over his eyes. Can't see anything. I will now hand him the bag. If you hold your hands out. Are you feeling anything from the bag or the items in the bag?
No.
Okay. So I can ask you now to open the bag, which I'll do for you.
It's alright, I can figure it out.
Okay. And place your hand in the bag and take out an item.
Something sharp here.
Okay. You place the item on the table in front of you. Okay. So I shall take the So you want to pick the item up, feel it around, be aware it does have a sharp point on it. I shall also give you the second item that belongs. Are you feeling anything about the items that you have in your hand? Can you see anything? Can you sense anything? What can you tell me about it?
I think these may have belonged to a woman. They feel like earrings by tactile sense.
Anything else?
Again, reddish hair.
How old?
That's 20s or 30s.
Any particular year?
You can't say for sure.
Modern?
Getting like a business sort of attire.
Are we talking 21st century, 20th century, 19th century?
I'm thinking 20th. Possibly 19th.
If you had to pick one.
I would say somewhere in the 1970s.
So 20th century.
Yeah.
Anything else?
There's not much else I can tell you from there.
Nothing else at all?
No, I can't. That's all I've got, I'm afraid.
Okay. Very well. I shall stop recording here. The results will be revealed at the end. So this is Sam, experiment number 2 in Paranormal Penny Pinchers team. If I can ask Sam to place the blindfold on, please. So, can you see anything at all?
No.
Okay. So just like last time, I'm going to now give Sam the bag. I'll ask the same questions that I asked Stuart. Are you picking anything up from the bag or the items in the bag?
Just energy vibrations.
Okay. Anything else at all?
No, at the minute, no.
Okay. So just like Stuart, if I can ask you to open the bag. Be aware there are sharp pointy things in there. Ask you to take an item from the bag. Take your time, no rush. Whatever you feel drawn to.
Something in there's really strong.
You want to take it from the bag. Okay. Okay, so I'll close the bag. So, is there anything you can tell me about the item you are holding? Any images, any words, anything at all that comes to you?
I'm just gonna describe what I can see. I don't know if it is related to
Yeah.
this or something,
No.
or the building.
I would, no? Whatever you feel.
I can see cobbles, old bricks, like old buildings. It's black and white.
How old? 20th century, 21st century,
20th?
19th century, 18th? Further back?
19th? 19th century.
Mm-hmm.
I can see someone digging.
Yep. Anything else? Can you see the surroundings?
Oh, it's moving that quick. It was brought over.
Sorry?
It was brought over.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? Did it belong to anybody?
I think it's springtime.
Sorry?
I think it's springtime.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever I am, it's springtime. There's a tray, it's like a pink blossom tray.
Mm-hmm.
Japan or China?
Sorry?
Japan or China?
Mm-hmm.
I can see, like, do you know the symbols?
Yeah. What sort of symbols can you see?
I can see a little, it's with the way the lines are flicking and, what do you call it? The characters,
Yeah.
like the brush and the ink. And the way they write it on the paper, how it goes. There's a wooden bridge.
Yeah.
Is that red? A red wooden bridge?
Okay.
It's got a river or
Yeah.
lake running underneath.
Mm-hmm.
I think it belongs to a male, a man.
Yeah. How old would the man be?
Ooh, now or then.
Young, old?
Older, middle-aged. Like late middle-aged though.
Okay. Fair enough.
But he's got a son.
Mm-hmm.
The son looks, I think, more the right age for this.
Yeah.
Maybe in his 30s.
Okay.
No, he's good with images.
Okay. Okay. If you want to take your blind off, have a look at the object that you chose. Okay, this is experiment number 3 with Stacey from Paranormal Penny Pinchers. If I can ask you to place the blindfold on over your eyes. Okay. Can you see anything at all?
No.
So just like the previous 2 experiments with Stuart and Sam, I'm now going to present the bag to Stacey. If you hold your hands out for me, please. Place the bag in your hands. So just like again with the last 2, I'm going to ask Stacey, do you feel anything about the bag or the items in the bag?
It feels very heavy, like weighed down. Like there's something, even though there's not, don't think it's something in the bag that's heavy, just the items have that heavy feeling about them.
Okay.
That's about it. It's
Okay.
like weighing me down.
Okay. So if I can ask you then to open the bag and take an item from the bag, item or items. Some of them are in pairs. Take your time, you don't need to rush. If you feel drawn to a particular object, or you can take any object that you feel from the bag. Okay, I'll now take the bag, I'll close it. Okay. So, is there anything you can tell me about the object that you have in your hand?
This is the object that I felt was weighing me down.
Okay.
I felt it on the bag, and it was, I mean, I know it feels heavy in itself, but it's not like weighing you down, you know, like, oh, it's like that, but, you know, it felt, you know, like, I don't know, like a heavy, like a bit of a burden, heavy burden maybe.
Yep.
That kind of feeling.
Okay.
Not
So-
actually the weight of it,
No,
just
it's okay.
the feeling of it.
Can you tell me anything else about the object?
It, pain.
Okay.
I don't know if, I mean, it doesn't inflict pain, but some kind of pain behind it. Like, not like a story, but there's some history,
Okay.
and it's painful.
How would you describe the pain?
Kind of like an ongoing, like it still hasn't stopped. It's like, even after so long, the pain is still there. Just, it doesn't end. It's,
Would you say it's a medical pain, emotional pain?
I'll probably say emotional, because with the whole of feeling heavy, kind of like a bit like a burden, but kind of, it's harder to explain it. But I am getting in the centre of my, in the centre where I'm holding this,
Yeah.
I am getting like a slight ache, pain in the centre from where I'm holding this.
Okay.
In this, I'm guessing it's kind of like a stone or a pebble.
Mhm.
It's like a little prick of pain,
Yeah.
but only in one place.
Getting anything else?
Getting lots of achiness.
Any idea who might have owned it?
I think maybe not a nice person. Someone who's quite rude and in charge. Someone who thinks he's above and important.
So a man.
Yeah.
Are we talking about a modern day man, 21st century, 20th century, 19th century, or
Older.
older?
I'm guessing older.
So 18th century,
Maybe.
further back.
I can't get a specific
No, it's
country,
okay.
but going from what?
So,
yeah.
so we're talking old.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I'm guessing it was something that was used a lot, that it was, or it was on him at all times, something that was important to him,
Mm-hmm.
that maybe he inflicted pain with it. That's what.
Okay.
I mean, that's kind of all I'm getting.
Just getting pain.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you want to take the blindfold off and have a look at the object you've got.
Oh. It's a cat.
Yeah.
So this is the fourth experiment with the lead investigator, John. The best till last, as they say.
Well,
So just like the other three, I'm going to ask John to place the blindfold on his head, over his eyes. Can you see anything out of the blindfold?
no.
Okay. And just like the other three, I'm now going to ask John to extend his hands forward. And I will give him the bag. If I can ask you, John, if you can sense anything from the bag or the items in the bag. There's no rush, take your time.
The bag itself isn't very heavy, but there's a weight to this. I don't know. I want to say weight of the world. Sometimes it was upsetting and frustrating. One of these items bears all that.
Okay.
Feeling.
Okay, so in your own time, if you want to open the bag and take an item from the bag, again take your time. If you feel drawn to a particular item, there's no
Can you
rush.
just put the tray here? I'm going to pour them out and see which one I'm more inclined to see. Let me know when you've done it.
Okay. Trays in front of you.
Thank you.
And John is now emptying the items into the tray.
It's definitely not coming from the bag itself. There is. There is something with this bag. Oh, what's that? Oh, my eyes are starting to tear up. Feeling. The way to describe it is, you know, sometimes when I can't get my words out, it's just like, nah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting.
Okay.
Like, I can't articulate myself properly.
No, it's fine.
And there's a level of frustration with that
Yeah.
I'm getting from
No.
the bag itself.
No, that's fine.
Something here doesn't want me to touch it. My hands will not go anywhere near it. So the camera can see I have no idea what I have in my hands. Apart from the fact it's got a fan on it of some sort.
Okay. Was that the item that you were drawn to?
I don't think so. No. think it's more of a discard this. I'm not
Okay.
picking anything up from it.
If you want to discard it, feel free. Preferably not.
I wouldn't do that. I want to try and find out which one's trying to pull me away. One of these items will not let me pick it up. Which one is it? It honestly feels like my hand's being... That's as far as my hand will go, so either something's got a really good, strong aura around it, or energy. Because I normally get this when I can, because I can touch, I can feel other people's auras.
Mm-hmm.
When I go close to them, I can sort of like that. There's a certain point when your hands like two of the same pole magnets.
Yeah.
Something in here is giving me that. This feels. Oh, the energy on this.
Okay. That's the item that's pushing you away.
Possibly, I'll keep checking.
Okay.
There is energy in this though.
Take your time, there's no rush. What are you feeling?
Pain in my arm, all the way here, all the way to my elbow.
Okay. Like what?
It's like a shooting pain. It's like starts there, all the way up to my elbow. I normally do have this feeling, but I always have it in this arm. My arm's quite stiff now. I can't really move it. It's like I don't think it's tennis elbow.
No. Anything else about the item?
Maybe arthritis. Whoever this belongs to had some type of either arthritis or ligament issues. Because I know I have ligament issues in my neck and shoulder because I've overstretched them.
Yep. Who does the item belong to?
My process for this is I ask, because I'm left side dominant. I know it's very, I won't say
Uncommon.
no. I'm trying to be PC without being. I associate my left hand side with being male.
Yeah.
And I associate my right hand side with being female.
Okay.
Just because the dominance, I know it's a un-PC way of looking at it, but when you need
to make
left and right, black and white, you know what I mean?
Well, this is just an experiment, so
I am absolutely cold on my right hand side, so this belongs to a female.
okay.
I am absolutely freezing from my shoulder down to my arm and my legs now. The whole of my right hand side is going freezing, but my left hand side is roasting.
Young or old?
Okay. Not too sure an age.
Doesn't matter about specific age.
I feel the way I do it is head, grandfather, grandmother,
Yeah,
shoulder, mother, father, elbow, auntie, uncle, friend,
yeah,
knee is a sibling,
yeah.
and my knee is absolutely freezing, so
So a sibling.
a sibling, sister, or somebody who is a sister too, like Sam and Stacey, they're like sisters to each other.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with sister 2.
Okay, sister 2.
Not my actual biological sister, but maybe
Okay.
somebody.
So 21st century, 20th century, 19th century.
I don't know. I can't get that.
That's okay. Just asking the questions that I've asked everybody else. Anything else you're picking up about the item?
No, it's just the fact that the whole of my left hand side and my right hand side is absolutely freezing.
Can you describe the person who might have possessed the item?
Someone who's always cold. Obviously. Never told the right time though, did it? This watch never. I can feel it's a watch. I can feel the thingy. Never told the right time.
All will be revealed at the end.
I feel like it was just one for like muscle memory type situation. You know, like you put on a necklace or something just for putting a necklace sake on. I feel that the watch was just put on for putting on sake.
Yep.
It never. You're either never told the right time or always being asked to make sure the time was right.
Mm-hmm.
Always checking another clock.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Right, okay. If you want to take your blindfold off and have a look at the item.
Yowzers. Ooh.
Okay. Okay, so the results for the experiment for paranormal penny pinchers with regards to the testing of psychometry. This is the second time we've all done an experiment, but this is the first time we've done a group experiment. I can now reveal that everybody was almost spot on with regards to the items that they chose. I think everyone will agree they were freely chosen. They had an option of multiple objects.
Yes.
And all were taken. Okay, so the first object that was chosen was by Stuart. It was a set of earrings.
That's me.
Stuart identified it belonged to a woman. It was a businesswoman in the 1970s. I can confirm that is correct. She was a secretary for the company Legal and General. And Stuart also described almost perfectly the suit that she wore. The person who wore the earrings was a friend of the family. She did wear the grey suit, the blouse.
Red hair?
I don't know about the hair because I never knew it. It was before my time.
Okay.
I was only young at the time. So Stuart was spot on with that one. Sam's was interesting. She actually picked up on a coin conflicted with something else, and that's purely because the coin belongs to me.
Right.
The coin was chosen when I was 30. You got my age correct. I was on holiday. I was doing a historical holiday in Normandy, and I happened to visit one of the places that was on my bucket list at the time. which is Mont Saint Michel. You picked up on the cobbled streets. The store that I bought it from was beneath a wooden bridge that has an archway over the main street that leads up to the main cathedral on Mont Saint Michel. For those of you who have ever seen it, you might want to Google the streets. There's a number of market stalls to the left and the right. I bought the souvenir there. I bought it because Mont Saint Michel is to me is a holy place. I then went on to travel to China, where you picked up on the cherry blossom, the little Marco Polo bridge. I've had that in my possession now for 23 years. So Sam was spot on with that one. Next person I asked was Stacey. She picked up on a pendant. A pendant I don't know too much about. What I can tell you was it was bought as a gift by an animal lover, a cat lover. Their cat unfortunately passed away, so you sense the heaviness, the loss, the pain in the chest. So you were right about that. Whether it was whether there was any type of cruelty or animal cruelty, I don't know. Again, it's before my time. Also, at this point, Stacey picked up about the bag, about there being a heaviness about the bag itself, but not necessarily the item in the bag. This is relevant. Come on to John. As I said, save the best till last. John had the privilege of being the last person in the experiment, so therefore, being the lead investigator, he had the option of going through the number of items. John did his experiment in a slightly different way. He sensed, just as Stacey did, the heaviness of the bag. The bag belonged to a child. Unfortunately, the child passed away. Again, I can't tell you too much about it. I was only told by the lady who in the shop I bought it from. So you both picked up on the heaviness of the bag. John picked up on the weight of the world. Suppose if you're a child, you passed away. And for those of you who've been following Paranormal Penny Pinchers online, you know that we have we have dealt with a number of child spirits. There's a resident one that keeps coming through. So this is a speciality of the team. And John picked up on that. He also picked up a watch. Now the watch, I can tell you, belonged to a nurse, specifically a sister.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
The watch was worn. It never kept time, but it was never meant to. She used it for checking for the pulse, things like that. She always did refer to the clock in main reception at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day.
Wow.
It was repaired multiple times, but it was worn more for sentimental. It was a gift that was given. Again, it was given to a family member. Again, I don't know too much about them, but they did work. With regards to a couple of the items, Stuart picked up 1970, the age is correct. John couldn't pick a particular age. Sam picked up modern, 21st century, at the beginning of the 21st century when I went to Mont Saint Michel. Stacey sort of picked up, you thought 17th, 18th century. Again, it's a stone, it's a pebble, it's possible. I don't know the history of that one, so
yeah.
That one will pend further investigation. And now to my prediction. I predicted that Sam would either pick up a necklace, cross or a coin. Sam picked up a coin. I predicted John would either pick up a watch or a ring. He picked up a watch. I predicted Stacey would either pick up an earrings or a pendant. You picked up a pendant. And I predicted Stu would either pick up earrings or a coin. You picked up the earrings.
Nice.
So
wow.
my result is 100%.
Yeah.
So I think tonight everybody's ability has been tested and they picked up on the items that they were chosen. More will be done with, now that the items have been chosen, stage 2 is we'll investigate the items further for part 2, where I will give each item to a different person to see what they can pick up.
It was a very
Watch this space.
It was a very good experiment. I really enjoyed that. Something different, something I'm trying to work on is my psychometry to help me build from the psychic level to the spiritual level, to help my gifts. I do this as a personal thing, but I do know it will merge into the paranormal. It's just a way to help develop myself. And tonight, going completely and utterly blind and just picking it up blind instead of picking it up and having a look at the item and doing psychometry that way, which is how I've done it in the past, was very interesting, and for me to be spot on was something amazing.
Sam, any comments?
I'm actually really impressed and mad with how everyone has developed. This was a really good idea, Dave. A brilliant experiment. And we've never done anything like this before, and we've only done one group psychometry session before, so to see the progress and what everyone got is such a controlled environment as well.
Sam, and Stacey, any comments?
Yeah, well, as soon as I took the blindfold off and we walked out the door, I went, wow, can we do that again? So I really did enjoy that, and I look forward to doing more. And as you know, I don't feel much for the group, but since the psychometry sessions, I've been opening up a lot more, and that's something I thought wasn't possible for me, but it is, and I've really enjoyed it. I can't wait to do it again.
Stuart, any comments?
Well, honestly, I've described myself as psychic as a brick before now, so to me this is a rather interesting experiment in its own right. At the present moment, I believe it requires a bit more investigation and a bit more work.
To add to that, I think maybe we should take it in turns. We'll collect different items and everybody does it. Repeat it, but everybody chooses different items. I think that might be a nice experiment to carry on going forward with.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that can work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you again, Dave.
Yeah, no problem.